Hey guys, it's good to be back with the balance with Shan. Let me smell wine. Cause honey, I got some tea. Like, I'm about to put y'all deep in some real juicy things. So no, I got nothing juicy. I don't get into all of that. But I do got something juicy. And I want to talk about dating. Everybody want to talk about dating, right? So, not for real though. Yeah, I just want to give my lovely girls an advice about dating. Men can join on too because I don't know, maybe you have a daughter, you have a mother who's single right now, and this is just wisdom from my single ladies. Just to throw it out there, I'm currently not single. I am taken. I'm not married yet. We are planning for marriage, hopefully, but if not, I'm okay. But yeah, I want to spill some wisdom, and I just want to bless and encourage some single women out there that who desires marriage or relationship, whatever the case. A man, period. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem being alone. I don't have a problem like being single forever, like if that ever was the case. But there's a little desire, and you're like, everybody wants that little companion. Everybody wants that, and it's okay because that's what God created. God, He wants us to multiply more children, and He wants us to find a partner. But before I get into all of that, the best dating advice. This advice is so secretive. Like, everyone cannot know about this. Like, this is how you really keep a man. And this is how you become strong minded, you become sexy and confident and intimidating also. Getting to know yourself. That is the best dating tip I wish someone had told me, like, back in my early 20s. But anyway, yeah. The best dating is dating yourself. You being alone, getting to know yourself is like it's such a valuable experience because you want to get to know yourself. You want to start being aware of your flaws, your insecurities, what pisses you off, what you don't like, what you will tolerate, what you will negotiate with, what you will not negotiate with. Yeah. During that experience, you really have to like get grounded in that, because when you're desperate and you want to date, that desperation mixed with that anxiety together, it just makes you look reckless. And then you just choose the worst partners because you will tolerate anything. You will tolerate for any foolishness. That's when you start looking at the red flags like, maybe it's green. No. And you have to get grounded with yourself. You have to be grounded with yourself. So what I mean by like getting to know like your insecurities and stuff, like you need to start being self-aware of your flaws. And what I mean by flaws, like for an example with me, I have a smart mouth. Okay? I know I do. I know I have a smart mouth. I'm working on it. I know myself. I have a smart mouth. So while I was single for a few years, I had to like dive deep in myself. I had to channel my inner self and question, okay, what makes me say these things? Because there be some things that I say to people that I shouldn't say to anyone. Like I got a flawed ass mouth. But anyways, um, that made me want to channel my anger. Like, okay, every anger, every trigger, uh, every I want to say a flaw, but everything pretty much has a root, and you have to find that root. You got to find out what's the cause of that, and you start nourishing that plant yourself. The seed is already there. The seed will forever be there, no matter what trauma you've been through, no matter what, it's there. It's not going nowhere. It's already there, but it's not a bad thing. So while you are taking your time, taking care of yourself mentally and emotionally, you get to water that plant, and it's going to grow how the way you want it, and you're going to be very protective over that plant who even comes around it, because I don't know too much about plant life, but I believe that isn't weeds bad? I know that sounded dumb, but you don't want certain weeds to get in contact with your seed. You gotta be protective about it. Weeds, they kill other plants. So you have to start setting up boundaries for yourself. Like I said, what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. You know, I'm telling y'all this now. You're not going to find a perfect man. You are not going to find the man of your dreams. You're not going to find Mr. Right. I mean, you will find Mr. Right, but Mr. Right still got a little bit of flaws. And that's okay, because we all have flaws. I mean, that's human nature, period. It's human nature. And I'm not saying like you gotta be perfect before you find a partner, but I'm just saying like you have to be emotionally healed before you date anyone. Um, it's very important to start being aware of like your trauma or anything what you've been through in your past relationships, because you can carry that to the other relationship. And who knows, you may come across a good guy. You might hurt him because something triggered you, and he just looked his behavior probably looks similar to that same trauma, but it's not the same. So that's something that you really have to like decipher, like what is what? Is this my emotions or is this logic? And a lot of people say like, oh, women are just an emotional creatures and they just react and blah 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 blah. Yeah, we do. We do. But we are also logical too at the same time. We can be emotional and logical at the same time if we're self-aware. If we can control that thermometer. Everyone has that thermometer. You are the only person, and you are the only person who is responsible for that thermometer. So you can't let everyone or every man control that thermometer. I'm in full control of my emotions. Okay? So this is kind of getting off topic what I was talking about, but It is, but it's not. But dating yourself. Find some hobbies that you like. You need to find your purpose. You need to find yourself, basically. And while you're dating yourself, take yourself out on dates, honey. You do not need a friend or a man or your parents or anyone to take you out to dinner. You can dress up and go to dinner and sit at that table and order yourself some food by yourself. You don't need anyone to hold your hand. You don't. Why do you need her hand? Why do you need someone to sit across the table from you and tell you that you're beautiful? You already know that you're beautiful. You told yourself that you were beautiful when you look in the mirror. And if you don't think you're beautiful, take care of yourself. And I promise you, you will find that beauty. I promise you, you will find that beauty in you. But yeah. And I think that this is what I did before I started, before I got in my relationship. Dating myself taught me so much. It's just, when I say my confidence went from here to like out this damn window, it did. Because now I found a place where I'm like untouchable. So, like, no matter what planet you put me on, I could be alone. I can have no friends. I can be on a different planet, a different environment. Something could be all new to me, and I'm still fine. I'm still fine. No matter how many followers I have, who's with me, I'm still fine. Because I'm grounded. I'm emotionally grounded and spiritually grounded with myself and with the faith of God. I'm not going to let nobody mess up my head just because they don't like me. That's your problem if you don't like me. Because what? So, here's another thing. Ladies, I know that there is some men out there that aren't good. Every single man out there in the world is not a bad man. It's not toxic. You know, I believe in you attract what you see in yourself. So, this might push a little bit of buttons, but I'm going to keep it real. I believe in whatever you throw out into the universe, it's going to come right back on you. It's going to come right back around on you. So, if you let's say like you're single right now and you're desperate to go on a date. You're desperate for someone to give you attention. So you accept anything that comes to you. But you genuinely don't like that person. You just like what they offer. You just like the benefits that come with it. You just like what they have. So I'm not going to hold you. Around the time, this was like when I was like in my early 20s. When I was single. Did y'all hear me, Bert? When I was single, I used to let men take me on dates and I didn't like them. Right? And I had to think to myself, like, if somebody did that to me, I'd be pissed off. I will be so mad. Like, I would be so mad if somebody used me. The people be using me now, and I don't like it. So my thing is back to the universal law. If you don't want nobody to use you, you can't use other people either. Like, at some point in time, come on, woman, we gotta take accountability, okay? It is what it is. You know, y'all be on Facebook crying what a dude nigga did to you and blah 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 blah. You didn't even like him in the first place. Or say, oh, I just wanted him for sex. Okay, so he used you too. So now y'all in agreement, but you're still upset. What's the matter? Y'all both playing the same game. Y'all playing the same game and you upset. Child, please. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm the type of person, I believe in principles and I have morals. So that's what I'm going to look for in an individual, regardless if it's a relationship or a friendship. I got principles that I stand by. Okay? So that's one thing. You gotta have principles while you're dating. Whatever that was on the list. You want to ask questions. First, you want to ask questions with yourself. What do I want to see in a partner? What is something that I see myself for 5 years? Just ask yourself these things. Ask yourself 1,000 questions. You're basically interviewing yourself. That's good. That's good. The reason why I brought that up is because when you're dating, you know how women be like, oh, don't you like my hair? Like, you're forgetting the whole purpose of you going on that date, and it's to find a partner. Okay? Like, if you want to date, your goal is to be in a relationship. It is that. And then if you don't, well, I'm not going to get out of that. If you and that individual agrees with using each other, then that's on you. That's y'all business. But for example, with me, if I'm going to go on a date with you, I'm starting to see a little bit of potential. I'm seeing like, okay, maybe this is going to go somewhere. Maybe it's not. Maybe. But this is my interview. And I'm the interviewer. That's my chance to determine if this person is for me or not. Okay? So when you are on your first date with a man, don't throw all your emotions and problems out on the table. Like, I got cheated on multiple times and I had multiple babies by different men. They all cheated on me. They all took my money and I don't want to go through the same thing, so you better not do the same thing to me. But yeah, you can have my body. No. I like how my mom said, whatever your opponent, with your opponents, don't ever let your right hand know what your left hand is doing, right? So you have to know how to read people. And with men, you got to read what they're not saying. And I can pick up on that really good. So that's why I ask a lot of questions. I ask questions that I notice that you want to avoid. But on a date, you want to ask him about his morals, about his principles. How does he treat a woman? How do you treat your mother? How do you treat your sister? How many BMs do you have? And don't be afraid neither, because we're meant to shift the room, baby. Like, and that's another thing too. If you still at that people pleaser phase, it's gonna take you a minute to start dating again, because you can't be worried about hurting these niggas' feelings. You can't be worried about hurting their feelings. I'm not saying scare them off, but if that's what you gotta do, baby, that's what you gotta do. And if you do scare him away, then he's not the man for you. That's what I did. But yeah, you want to ask questions that you desire in your future partner, that you want to see. Can you keep a job? Do you have a good credit score? Again, you have to, you gotta set your standards. Like I said, not everyone is going to meet those standards, but you do have control what you can tolerate and what you cannot tolerate. Your future matters. You have value. You're beautiful. And every man can't be around you. And that's just it. And it doesn't mean that you're not good enough for anyone. It just means you're too special. You just can't. Yeah. I'm gonna keep this video short because I don't know why. But yeah. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye, y'all.